now it's time for our 75-lap race for the NASCAR Whelen All-American Series Super Late Model from Toyota Speedway here at Irwindale. 61 degrees. We've dropped a few degrees since the start of the evening. Clear skies still a great night for racing. We have one other race that will finish out the field for the K&N Pro Series race for tomorrow, and that is the open qualifying race. 12 cars racing for the final 6 spots. And Phil, now with this race, a 75-lap race, we're not going to see pit stops. So what kind of strategy do you have in this one?
I think you have to go all out. Only 25 cars. That's a lot less cars than we've had in previous years. So the guys up front want to stay up front. They have they have a lot of good experience now from those qualifying races for this division too. So they know what their cars are going to do. They didn't have a chance to make any adjustments. So they know what they have. And the guys up front know that their cars are pretty good right now.
Let's talk about the specifics with the super late models and how they're different from what we've seen already tonight.
A little bit less horsepower. You see about 500 horsepower, 360 cubic inches. These cars weigh about 3,000 pounds less driver within 105 or 108 inch wheelbase. So plastic bodied cars, very, very quick. These cars were a lot faster around here than the K&N Pro Series cars.
And just moments ago, they were on the racetrack for qualifying races, and we want to take a look back at how those went.
They had the first qualifying races.
Yep, that first qualifying race on the pole, it was the 03 of Rod Johnson Jr. He had the fastest qualifying run when they did single car runs. So when the green flag flew, out went Rod Johnson Jr. and he jumped out to a lead that no one was going to challenge him.
A little bit of contact right there.
Bear Resnowicki and Ryan Reed, they touched, but it was all Rod Johnson Jr. as he claims the first race and will have the inside starting position for the final race. Then on our second race, when the green flag flew, it was Jason Pattison in the 17 and Nick Janitis in the 71. Janitis makes the move to the inside and is able to get by the 17 of Jason Pattison. Problems for Chris Winters in the 77. He got into the wall, got out of the car, wasn't able to finish, but Janitis never looked back after he took the lead away from Pattison, and he claimed the second race. And so the cars are gridded on the front stretch, and we want to hear from the guys that make up the front row. We start with Dick Berggren.
And Nick Janitis is going to start on the outside of the front row. This is one of the most successful race car drivers ever to run here. 40 times he has won at this racetrack in the last 3 years. But Nick, no ride for 2011 after this weekend. How hard will you run to make what could be your last start at Irwindale a win?
Oh, we got to go for the win. You know, hey, it's a showdown. Our Daytona 500. Gonna give it everything we got. There's no hold bars, take no prisoners, and go for the win. If this is my last run here, gonna go out on top. We've won our last 7 in a row on 100-lap races. Gonna try and make it 8 in a row tonight. Counting the 25-lap heat race there, we got 100 laps on these tires to go, and I like our chances. Got to thank our team owner Lloyd for giving me one more shot in this ride here. Jackson Race Cars has done a great job with the car, and just looking for another great showdown. The weather is perfect this year. I think we're actually going to make the distance this year too.
Good luck to you tonight. Let's go to Jim Trado.
And Dick, for a driver as a rookie to win his first championship in the late model division, Rod Johnson Jr. did that just this year. Rod, this is only your second super late model race. How big would it be if you won this thing?
It would be huge. I mean, 2 years ago we came here with the rain fiasco weekend, and we tried to run a West car, and we had trouble with sparkle wires falling off. And then last year we led a lot in the late model race to have transmission trouble at the end of the race. So we're really hungry for this win. This is the one I really want to put on my trophy case. So it would be huge. It would definitely be the highlight of my career so far, probably bigger than even a championship.
Certainly on the rise at just 21 years of age, guys.
Thanks, Jim. So a pretty interesting front row there for this one. 25 cars, 75 laps. It will be a shootout. You don't want to miss one lap. Stay with us here on Speed. The start coming up next. About to get underway with our 75-lap super late model race here at the NASCAR Toyota All-Star Showdown from Toyota Speedway at Irwindale. 25 cars going 75 laps, and here's the way they'll line up. Rod Johnson Jr. and Nick Janitis won their qualifying races, so they'll make up row number 1.
First qualifying race will start odd numbers. Second qualifying race starts even numbers.
Jason Frazier in the 8th spot. Ryan Reed starting 9th.
Brandon Love Rock rounds out the top 10.
Back in 12th, Dustin Ash out of Las Vegas, Nevada.
Yeah, he was a Nevada State champion last year. And there's Kevin Conway, 2010 NASCAR Sprint Cup Rookie of the Year. Going to come out here out west and have a little fun.
Bear Resnowicki will start in the 21st position. Jack Madrid, Scott Dodd rounding out our 25-car field. Out in front, pretty impressive statistics for Rod Johnson Jr. Won Irwindale's 2010 late model track championship as a series rookie with 6 feature wins.
Yeah, very, very impressive. You can take a look at this Toyota Speedway at Irwindale. Half mile in length. This is one of the first tracks that went to the progressive banking. 6 degrees down the bottom of the racetrack, down by the white line, and 12 degrees up at the top. That's why we see these guys run around the top of the racetrack. That is the preferred line around this racetrack. 6,000 seats, and this racetrack opened in 1999.
You see 25 miles from downtown Los Angeles. Well, this race is only 37.5 miles, and we're going to do it quickly. Again, Rod Johnson Jr. on the inside, Nick Janitis on the outside, making up row number 1 as they come out of turn number 4, anticipating the green flag. We're underway. A good start for Rod Johnson.
Oh, trouble.
Behind him, problems on the front stretch. That's the 26 that got turned around.
Chris Gerchman in the 26. Caution flag is out.
The 7 of Cassie Janis has problems, and so as the caution is out, the field will slow.
I think Cassie just stopped to avoid running into the 26 car.
Chris Gerchman still trying to get that 26 going the right direction. They'll line them back up. Double file restarts. Rob Johnson Jr. and again Nick Janitis will start back up front. Take a look back of the pack. It looks like the 26 just got turned around.
Trying to get on the throttle, I think. And these cold tires, it really cooled off here this evening. Here's another look at it right here. Looked like he just jumped in the throttle. He started to go, then slowed back down, then jumped into the throttle. I think started the rear wheel spinning and never did regain control. Cassie came along and just stopped to avoid running into him.
Danny Bob in the 25 was just behind that 26 of Chris Gerchman. Danny had to move hard to the left to avoid Gerchman. It looked like just didn't get on the gas, or as you mentioned, spun the tires on the initial start. So they'll line them back up. We'll try one more time. Rod Johnson Jr. out of Canyon County, California. Nick Janitis from Woodland Hills, California.
All laps do count.
Rod Johnson Jr., we're talking about him, a second-generation driver. Rod Sr. actually was Irwindale's 1999 Super Late Model champion. You can download the free Speed app for your iPhone. Keep speed at your fingertips and fuel your passion for racing between events with Speed on your phone. With the latest stats, results, videos, and news as soon as they become available. Download the app from iTunes now. And do you have that on your iPhone, Phil?
I actually don't have an iPhone.
Really? I'm sure your kids do, of course.
No.
Everybody has an iPhone now, it seems like. You can get the Speed app on your iPhone. We are about ready to try again. Rod Johnson Jr. Again, after winning the pole, had his choice starting inside or outside. Shows the inside for the start. Green flags in the air. We're back underway.
A little more sanitary start that time. 3 wide already for third.
This time the field makes its way through 1 and 2, and some great side-by-side racing up front already for the lead. Rod Johnson Jr. down to the bottom of the racetrack, hugging that white line. A little bobble there, behind it by Andy Allen in the 22.
Remember, we talked about this progressive banking. That really lends itself to some great side-by-side 3 wide racing here, and we have it all the way from front to back.
Nick Janitis on the outside, still trying to have a clear-cut lead in this race. They cross the stripe, about 4 feet separate the 71 and the 03. Nick Janitis still scored as our race leader Rod Johnson Jr. hanging in tough on the bottom.
Remember, as Dick told us, this is only the second super late model race for Rod Johnson, our track champion last year in the late model series.
He falls in behind Nick Janitis. Now Andy Allen in the 22 get all over the back bumper of that 03.
Ryan Partridge in the 11 car moves up to the 4th position.
They're the 70 of Kevin Thompson has his hands full with Alex Haas.
It's so tempting to go drive down there on the bottom of the racetrack. It's so much of a shorter way around, but it's really hard to get that bite down there because of the less banking.
Andy Allen takes second away from Rod Johnson Jr. Johnson Jr. drops back into the 3rd position, and now he's got his hands full to try to hang on to that position.
Ryan Partridge all over. Now he's going to move to the inside of Rod Johnson Jr. to try to take over that 3rd spot.
Ryan Partridge 4th in the final super late model standings, point standings from a year ago. Won the truck championship here at the Toyota Speedway a year ago. Won 10 out of 14 events. Now we've got a good battle for the lead. Here comes the 22 of Andy Allen.
Yeah, Andy had thoughts about trying to get that lead. Rod Johnson Jr. now is solid now in 3rd spot, with Partridge in the 11 car in 4th.
4 cars have separated themselves by about 2 car lengths from 5th. Haas back there in the 5th position.
Some more of that side-by-side racing.
And interesting how you see someone hugging the white line, and then at the same time you've got someone running almost up next to the wall. 2 and 3 wide racing as they cross the stripe.
Ryan Reed, the 04 car, and the 70 car of Kevin Thompson. That's a battle for the 6th position.
Three wide once again.
And more than 19 car on the bottom of the racetrack.
Kevin Thompson in that red number 70. Still trying to hold on to the 6th spot.
Jason Frazier, the 31 car, the orange car on the outside. There's Dustin Ash in the 1 car, Nevada State champion.
Let's go down to the infield. Dick Berggren.
Well, they might want to be pretty nice to Kevin Thompson in that number 70 car. He is by far the biggest man in the field. 6'6", 330 pounds, and there isn't an ounce of fat on this guy. His upper body looks like a tractor trailer. Big guy.
That's your typical driver, too. I mean, you see all sorts of guys looking that way. Great battle for the lead up front. Nick Janitis still able to hold off the 22 of Andy Allen, but Allen working to the inside, and you see that 11 making his move as well. Ryan Partridge.
I'll tell you, Partridge looks like he has a good race car right now. He got by Rod Johnson Jr. to take over that 3rd spot. There's Alex Haas in the 66 now, behind the 11 of Partridge. Behind the 03 of Rod Johnson Jr.
Laps clicking off quickly. Janitis out front.
There goes Partridge to the bottom of the racetrack.
Trying to take second away from Allen. A little contact. Partridge letting him know, I am right here. 2 wide now for second. And Nick Janitis better look out, because if Partridge gets by that 22 of Allen, Nick Janitis is going to have his hands full.
Yeah, that Partridge in the 11 car really looks good right now. He's making it work right on the bottom of the racetrack. That's a tough way around here. Does he have him cleared?
It looks as though he's taken second away, so Partridge moves up into the 2nd spot. Nick Janitis still holding on to the top position. Back in 3rd, Andy Allen.
Remember, Nick Janitis said he won the last 700 lap races here. Said he already had 25 laps under his belt from the qualifying race. Just another 75 to make it 8 in a row.
Out in front, Nick Janitis still holding on. Ryan Partridge right on his back bumper. Andy Allen, Alex Haas, and Rod Johnson Jr., your top 5. Stay with us.